first scrimmage, first time we're competing against each other today. The things that I'm looking for are pitchers throwing 2 or 3 pitches for a strike, keeping it low in the zone. We'll start off with our top 4 varsity pitchers. Chris Amtower's throwing for, I think, Team 1 today, and he'll be our number 1 on the mound. He's been our number 1 since his sophomore year, so it's not any kind of pressure deal for him. He's going to keep it low in the zone. His ball moves a lot. His velocity has gone up quite a bit in the last 6 or 7 months, but that's only going to help him. He still keeps the curveball low, can throw it in any count, and he's added a nice changeup too to his pitches that he can throw. So, Chris will be our number 1. Tyler Edwards will be on number 2. He's throwing for Team 2 and started for them today. He was up in the zone a little bit in the first inning, but in the second and third innings of work, he got it down in the zone. His curveball was over for a strike. I'd like to see his curveball, in more places than down the middle or down the inside corner. I'd like to see him work low a little bit in the dirt and out. But for the first outing against hitters, I thought it was pretty good today. Spencer Flatt will be our number 3, and he's a junior. He's been our number 3 for the last 2 years, and he's got a really nice curveball for a junior, and can throw it in any count. Fastball, we're working with some mechanical things with him to improve his fastball and location of his fastball. It tails a lot. Number 4 is kind of up in the air right now between several guys. Tristan Tanner, who's a senior, throws a lot of strikes and can eat a lot of innings. He's just a bulldog on the mound. And then Tyler Deepy will compete for that number 4 spot too. He's a sophomore. Tyler, we've worked a lot on his mechanics in the last 2 years, so he's worked really well. But anytime you throw a sophomore into a varsity game, sometimes it can be a rude awakening for them. Dawson Little will see an increased amount of time pitching. He'll be our closer. I'd like to leave him as a closer, but if I have to, I can move him into the number 4 spot if we're struggling. But Dawson ended up leading our team in saves and relief appearances in the fall, and he's a kid who's hasn't pitched for us a lot until last summer, and he said he wanted to pitch, and all of a sudden he was getting outs and throwing no-hitters in perfect games. So I thought, well, you know what, we'll let him throw, and he had a great fall on the mound, and if it's a tight situation, we're going to bring Dawson in and let him close a game. I think our pitching is probably our strongest point that we have in our defense. Those 2 areas really led us in the fall. Our fielding percentage was in the 940s, which is almost 100 points higher than what it was last year, and I don't think it's a coincidence that we doubled our win total from last year. Our pitcher's team ERA was in the low, I don't even think it was in the 2s, I think it was in the high 1s. So our pitching and defense is going to be what leads us offensively. We are senior heavy at the top. Our top 4 hitters are seniors. Our leadoff guy is going to be Chris Amtower. When he's not pitching, he'll be in the outfield, but he's signed with Evangel, and he's going to be a 2-way player for them, a pitcher and play the outfield for him for at least the first year, and then they'll kind of decide which route they want him to go, or if they want him to continue to be a dual roster player as a pitcher and a positional player. Our 2-hole is Dawson Little. He'll play shortstop when he's not pitching. Dawson, we've got several schools interested in Dawson. He will play college baseball somewhere. He just hasn't decided where that is yet. Our 3-hole is Tristan Tanner. Again, he's going to compete for the 4th spot in the pitching rotation, and then he'll hit 3-hole, play some outfield, and play first base when some other guys are pitching. He's committed to Central Methodist University to play. He's, a very high-energy guy who hit 468 in the fall, and he just competes, and you want more guys like that. Our 4-hole is Tyler Edwards. He'll be our number 2 pitcher, and he plays first base and a little bit of short and a little bit of third, depending on who's pitching. He's committed to, he's not committed technically yet, but I think he's leaning towards Lincoln University, which is a Division II in Jeff City. He'll be just a positional player there. He will not be pitching there. After that, we get a little bit younger. Spencer Flatt will hit 5-hole for us. He'll play third base and be our number 3 pitcher. He's a good body kid. He's 6'2" and about 220, so he's got good size and some power. Then we'll probably get into the youngsters after that. Behind the plate, starting catcher is going to be a freshman, Logan Peebles. He's a very, very good freshman. Sometimes makes the freshman mistakes, but behind the plate, he really leads our pitching staff well and works with them well and works well with the umpires in adjusting to their strike zones. And he hit, I think, 270 or 280 in the fall, which for a freshman, adjusting to the schedule that we play, and we see everyone's number one almost every night. So, anybody that's 15 years old and can hit 270, 280, I can live with that. He'll only get better. He's grown about 4 to 5 inches since the fall, and I think he's about 5'11" now. And in batting practice, his power has really shown through, and then just the 3-4 months that we've been off since. So Logan Peoples, his brother played at Missouri State, so he's got the genetics and the mind makeup. He knows what it takes to play at a high level, and he plays at a high level. So we'll start a freshman behind the plate. After that, Jeremy Watson, he'll be in right field, and Jeremy's a speed guy. He's going to go and join the Army after school, but he's been a consistent, flirting right around 300 hit or two for the 2 years he's started. Then second base is going to be Skylan Akins. He's a senior, great kid, great mind for the game of baseball. And then Dalton Carr will be in center field, and he can absolutely fly. Maybe the fastest kid I've ever coached, and he's only a sophomore. So, we've got a good mix of older kids and younger kids. But when we've only got one junior, so when it gets young, it gets very young. Our DH spot's going to probably be a sophomore, Callan Springer. He's hit really well and hit well in the fall, and I pulled him up as an 8th grader to hit in the summer for our varsity team, and he did a great job. And then when we pinch hit him last fall, he did a great job with that. So, we got a good mix of older kids and a good mix of younger kids. The older kids have turned into good leaders, and the leadership qualities are great. But we've got tremendous speed and great defense and pitching. You can win a lot of games with that. Offense, we find ways to score runs. We know that once we get past our top 4 hitters, that we get very young, very quick, and sometimes that leads to us being very creative in how we score and which ways we score. We shattered our stolen base record in the fall, which usually you don't set many records in the fall. You usually set the records when you play more games in the spring, but I think we stole, it was 23 more bases than we stole at any other time I've been here in the fall. So we've got great speed, and we're going to use the things that we're good at and hopefully play smart baseball. And I think the kids pride themselves in that we're always prepared for who we're going to play, and know as much as we possibly can about them. And we play our game, but we also know their strengths and respect their strengths, but at the same time try to limit what it is they're good at, and hopefully that leads to some good wins in the spring.